out there. Nice food is good. All done, all day long. I got a good feeling about today, guys. Food is good. All done. Something pretty special today. Feeling about today, guys. Green, 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 green. Here we go. Go, 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 go. God,
It's the same as it was last time, so I'm not exactly sure what the issue might be, but we're gonna try to work through this. So bear with us. But tonight we have the Team Conti Sim Performance Dash Series racing at Atlanta Motor Speedway. 160 laps here tonight. Pretty much a full packed field, and we have a lot of action coming your way tonight. What are you guys looking for this evening, Bill? And I have Cup driver Zach Johnson, driver of the 45 car, I believe, with me in the booth tonight.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry, Bill. What I'm looking forward
go ahead.
what I'm looking forward to tonight is seeing how these cars handle. We saw Daytona, very twitchy, very sensitive, especially at pushing, a lot of wrecks. I'm looking to see these drivers clean it up and get some green flag runs here today at Atlanta.
We're all hoping for long green flag runs, but I don't think it's really going to happen. Since they repaved Atlanta, Atlanta has become a mini super speedway, almost a mini Daytona. And when the big one happens big time here. It's going to be a survival to the end of this race, as always. And what's going to be interesting to watch is the tire drop off during the race. During the practice earlier today, I was getting some really good laps down full throttle. And then once those tires started wearing off, it was definitely not drivable full throttle. So tire man is going to be an issue, and it's just going to be survival to the end.
I agree.
Yep, for sure. And it looks like we have qualifying underway, so let's go ahead and check in on that real quick. All right, let's see.
Now, Zach, I know you run the Cup car here. I'm assuming that you've been practicing this week. Where is your preferred line on the track in the Cup car?
In the Cup car, I love the top, right? Last year I actually won this race, the first Atlanta race last year in the Cup Series, and I won it on the top. I made the move from the top, splitting it three wide in the middle. I feel like the top is the preferred lane. Now, in my practice races and the A Opens and whatnot throughout the week, the tops didn't seem to form up like the bottom would. But I think if you're trying to win the race, you got to be on the top.
Now, usually qualifying, the low line is usually the fastest way around the track. Now, how is this car going to differ from the Cup car? Weight differences we know is going to be one of the things. How different are those two cars?
These two cars are pretty different from each other. Like you said, the weight difference in the Xfinity car to the Cup car is pretty significant. Xfinity car, especially under put when you're getting pushed, Xfinity car likes to weave and the back end gets really happy there and it's very unstable. So I got to stay off bumpers through the corner. Really, the only place you can hit him if the lead car has got his wheels straight. So I'd say that's the biggest difference. Obviously, qualifying on a super speedway, the preferred line is the bottom. It's all about how you carry the momentum to the straightaway. If you're scrubbing your tires, holding it on the line, if you're very gently coming up a little bit, keeping that speed in the car, that's where we're going to see the difference in qualifying.
Now we have a excuse me, we have different drivers to this year. Excuse me again. It's a new series to Crown Jewel, but we have a lot of new drivers here. Driver experience is definitely going to be an issue here. You've seen it when the big one happens here. The big one really seems to happen. There is absolutely no time to slow down here. So, how much do you think that inexperience is going to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna see. I think we'll see our fair share of not trying to arc a break, but as what it's called, arc a breaking. Just not enough time to slow down and getting into the wreck. And this track is a lot more narrow than the Talladegas and Daytona, so you don't really have a lot of room to go. Now, avoiding the wreck, going underneath the red line that is wrapped all the way on the bottom of the racetrack is okay, but outside of that, trying to pass below that, that is out of bounds. So we're gonna see all these drivers trying to stay above that line as much as possible.
No, it seems like here at Atlanta, that little trioval there where you come through to the start finish line, that seems to always be a trouble spot. Drivers coming off turn 4, trying to get everything straight, trying to pick their lane to go through that dog leg, and then coming out of turn 4, turn that dog leg, excuse me, going into turn 1. It's as if that wall at the end on the outside closes in on you as you're trying to make the swing going on into turn 1. So look forward to seeing a lot of cautions at that stretch right there that we're looking at. Right there and headed off into turn 1. Hopefully it's not going to be too bad today, but this track is also, in my opinion, known for being slick on the starts and restart. Cold tires, especially brand new tires coming out of the pits for the restart. You've guys seen it too. Everybody seems to have trouble on that start, not in their tires. We'll have to watch and see if inexperience does play a part. Now the cars are starting to grow, and hopefully we'll get the starting grid. And I'll let you guys read the starting grid because you can see it and I can't.
Yeah. Yeah. So on the pole, Kobe Del Carlo. Hopefully I said that right. In that Majors Garage Esports car. Starting outside in position number 2, Zack Saunders, a veteran for the Crown Jewel Racing League. Starting third, Noah Hamilton. Starting fourth, Nathan Fuller. Starting fifth is Rodney Roberts. Next to him is Dominic Lee in position number 6. Seventh place is Nishil Condor. John Terrell following him in P8. Blake Roebuck is P9, and Josh Schultz as an open car in P10.
Yep.
11th is Keith.
Sorry, I
So
got
sorry.
it. I'm back, by the way.
Well,
I was
I just
behind the
want to say
scenes.
something.
I was just gonna say I
Keith
was behind the
Hume
scenes
is
trying to fix the stream, but I think we finally got it to where we'll be able to have a good show. Anyways, back to the starting lineup. 11th place, Keith Hume for Grayson Hume Racing. P12, Leroy Sellers Jr. for Leroy Sellers Racing. P13, Nick Basden. 14th, Cameron Albertson. 15th, Richard Myers. 16th, Tyler Krasinski or Krazesk. I'm sorry, I probably got your name wrong there. 17th, Nathan Campbell.
Cross-check.
Okay, cross-check.
Sorry.
You said cross-check,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah,
Sorry.
Tyler Cross-check.
Cross-check. Okay, cool. 18th, Barry Kramer. 19th, Noah Spalding. 20th, Ryan Persinger. 21st, Justin Bell. 22nd, Michael Deach. 23rd, Joe Gibbons. 24th, Cameron Romano. 25th, Caleb Sheets. 26th, Ted Lisby. 27th, Jonathan Ledger. 28th, Travis Dickinson. 29th, Sam Bennett. 30th, Sylvain Joly. 31st, Jim Mott. 32nd, Jay Salmon. 33rd, Bob Baker. 34th, Gregory Valade. 35th, Keenan Kimber. And 36th, Jake Euler. So pretty packed house tonight. Thank you guys for sticking with us through those technical issues early. Hopefully we have them all ironed out now and we'll be able to get to racing.
Yeah.
I just want to mention Keith Hume in that spot. I was riding with him in car during the practice and qualifying. He I don't know what setup he was working on during the practice, but it was very smooth, just very kind of chilled and relaxed. It didn't seem like he was pushing it. It didn't seem like he was, saving really. It seemed like he had a very conservative setup, very conservative line, and he was running some pretty good times. He qualified 11th. So we're going to have to keep an eye on him starting in that 11th spot tonight.
Yeah, and with this being an open series, obviously a lot of drivers have different setups, right? From different setup shops. The Team Contis, the VRSs, the Majors Garage, and so forth beyond that. But look to see some of these drivers, especially because those setups might not be made for these track conditions too. So expect some drivers to be down pit road, maybe in the first or second caution if we get some in stage 1 to make some adjustments to make that car handle better too.
Do you guys think we're going to see anybody going 1 or 2 laps and then pulling out a line? Uh-oh. It ain't that. Now, I got to be honest with you, my personal preference, I like the old, I don't like the reap. What do you guys think of that?
I don't know. I think this is what we want Super Speedway racing to be, is what Atlanta has produced. We want Talladega and Daytona to kind of be like this more. Everyone's a lot more closer. It's a lot tighter. Mistakes are highlighted more. It'll bite you more here. I personally, I love the repave. I wish we could have both, but obviously we can't. So I like the new Atlanta more than the old one.
Yeah. Let's see what car the what car falling back there.
Yeah, I think that was a driver change, so they're gonna have to start at the back of the field.
I love the shot right there. That's one of the best shots ever on iRacing. There it is, number 24, Major Garage car. Yeah, it's, here it is. They sponsor one of our series, and here they are on the pole.
Yeah, they've had a great showing so far this season in all three leagues, or all three series, Cup, Xfinity, and then down to the truck too. And space cars are a lot here,
Yeah. Watch them. There it is. Pace car is off. Ready to go through the restart zone. All the cars trying to be patient. Hopefully everybody's going to knock in the tires. There we go. And the guy can restart. Car's getting a pretty good start. Seems pretty clear all the way back. They're heading off into turn number 1 and already over 50 miles an hour.
So the outside line still hanging on there. Not as good as the restart as the top, but they're still there, and they're going to come back and fight down here in the back stretch going into turn 3.
2x2 like so. They march off into turns number 3 and 4. Everybody side by side all the way back until the 15th or 16th row. Cars getting a little close as they come across to finish turn 1. Now they're headed off again into turn 1 at over 180 miles an hour.
This is Zack Saunders fighting up there. Looks like he's trying to get a little bit of side drafting going here. Just kind of slightly pinching that outside lane as he's going to slightly prevail here going into turn 3. He's got another Majors Garage pushing him. I believe that's the 23 machine of Nathan Fuller pushing him up and to the lead. And I think Saunders is going to lead this lap here.
He is going to hold on. Saunders, DeCarlo, Fuller, Hamilton, your top
As
4.
the yellow is out.
3 car.
Caution is out. It's like
Quite see what happened there.
it's like 54. I saw it right back there at the end. Something to do with 54.
Saunders, go ahead. Yep. One car headed down pit road. I don't know who that is.
That looks like it's the 21 machine. And down pit road.
Ooh. I think he might be headed towards the garage there. Having some issues.
Yeah, not the best entry there.
Saunders, DeCarlo, Fuller, Hamilton, Lee, Ross, Terrell, Condor, Schultz, and Roebuck are your top 10. I didn't quite see what happened with that caution. I don't know if 2 cars got together in the back or what.
Yeah, I think it was the 54. I think was involved in that one.
Oh,
Yeah. It's the wall.
Yep, there it
just
is.
comes down. So just like you said in the
Yep.
pre-race, Bill, that in that quad over that wall closes in on you, and it looks like it closed in on the 54 there, and some victims already.
not an easy area to go through being an experienced drop. But that's what
That's a lot
happens.
of
You get a little bit
damage there.
squirrely and very
Yeah,
thin.
what a tough run for that 20 machine. Already involved in something this early. Had a rough week at Daytona, and innocent bystander here. I think that was lap 3. As I believe we're coming to the choose cone here, so we'll see the majors garage cars go with each other. That will leave the 7 at Noah Hamilton pushing our leader Zack Saunders. It looks
Those
like we're
guys
gonna
have raced together before.
Yeah, it looks like we have all 3 majors garage cars on the bottom here. We kind of saw this at Daytona too. They were controlling the field for a long time, till towards the end when they slowly one by one got taken out by wrecks that weren't all their fault. So I'm sure that team is looking to rebound here and get a good finish.
Toner is always a lottery shoot. You just don't know what's going to happen. You can be the best car, the best driver, and it doesn't matter. When it happens, it happens. Now, we saw how many cars this wreck collected when this, still towards the end of the pack, was kind of mid-pack, but a little bit towards the end. There was about 8 cars that got involved in it. So that's what happens here in Atlanta. And it happens quickly, and there's nothing you can do. Right now, it looks like we're all paired off and getting ready to come out of turns 3 and 4. Headed to the front straightaway. 60 on the outside, 24 down low again with those majors cars.
Zack Saunders on the top in the 60, Colby Del Carlo in that 24 leading those majors garage cars. As pace car turns off, Zack Saunders, your control car, that orange car on the outside. We'll see when he goes here in the box. Green flag is out, and we're underway back at Atlanta. That outside lane getting a good jump, but the inside lane's maybe a little more formed up here as Saunders and the 7 car of Noah Hamilton are going to let to go low here into turns 1 and 2.
What a great view right there. You can really see the angle of the track. And now it seems like we've got a Daytona bottom line starting off. About 6 or 7 cars there. That's how this racetrack is. You kind of go a little bit above the line, down the back straightaway, then you stay down low. This is until those tires start wearing out. Now, you guys both said you like that higher line once the race gets going, or, you know, even to be up there to finish. Do you think that eventually these guys are going to move up?
Yeah, I honestly think that high line is definitely in the fast line here, at least in the Cup cars. They have some numbers now, but they might need a couple more guys to jump up there to get that really rolling up top. So
yeah, I think after a couple laps here, they're gonna, as we can see, they're slowly pulling this inside lane back, and they're slowly making their way up. They're about the 5th car in line now, up there at the top. They just need like 1 or 2 more cars to tag onto the end there, and they should be steamrolling up for the lead.
Well, I'm not sure. I think it was Roberts, Condor, or Roebuck. Those guys came real close together through that quad oval there, and man, it just gets so thin so quickly.
See, Zack Saunders still leading. How about we do a little crank it up there, Thomas?
for sure, yeah. Let's go to our crank it up segment here. Brought to you by Track Cams 22. Provide the best track cams on iRacing service. And cautions out again. Looks like we had the, what'd you say, the 11?
I believe it might have been the 11, the lap car there on the top, going through the quad oval.
Let's see if we can
Not
catch
sure,
that. Oh yeah, I mean, he's driving without a hood, so he's just...
Took out some of the leaders there.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that's tough there. 15 car looks crumpled, and I know the 55 was involved there as well. So we have our second yellow here on lap 14. See, now that we got a couple more green flag laps in, we'll see which drivers elect to come down pit road and get some adjustments there if their car's not handling too well. As new in iRacing for this week, the pit road entry, just like real life, is in turn 3. So don't think anybody elected to come down outside of the ones who were involved in that wreck.
Yeah, I think after those early cautions, people are valuing the track position, so definitely would like to stay up front if you can to avoid any unnecessary damage early.
Yeah, definitely. As the 60 of Zack Saunders is still in the lead. We saw when we were on our Crank It Up, the 7-car Noah Hamilton challenging him for the lead, but at the time of caution, that outside line kind of broke up and he fell back to third there.
What's amazing is how close these guys run towards the middle of the pack. I mean, it's such a traffic jam when they're side by side, and it takes so long to get the nerves out of you. The first 20 laps, you're holding on to that wheel so tight. And then after a little while, you kind of loosen up a little bit. But it's so intense when you're in these cars mid-pack.
Definitely. And these cars, I would say, are the one out of the 3 NASCAR ones, the ones that handle the twitchiest and the worst of the 3 that we're running here this weekend. It takes a lot of skill and a very steady hands to hold that sucker straight, especially later in the race if we see 3 wide.
Yeah, but it's definitely like a dance because you want to stay on the gas, so you keep in the draft with the guy in front of you. But if you're in the gas the entire lap, you know, you're just burning your stuff up, and potentially like you'll use your stuff up, and then later in the run you'll get loose with these Xfinity cars. So it's just about managing the gaps in front, managing the gaps behind, and staying with the pack as best as you can.
That's the name of the game of super speedway racing. Fuel saving and track position, especially here at Atlanta, it's so crucial because it's so narrow.
Did you guys run any officials here this week in the Xfinity cars?
I didn't in the Xfinity. I did a bunch of for Cup Series preparing for tomorrow, but I have in times past, and every time I've been on this new configuration of Atlanta with the Xfinity car, it's very twitchy, and the pushing is just doesn't want to cooperate how I'm used to pushing with the Cup car.
Yeah, I was curious to know what the weather was like for this week for the officials. Wondering if the cars are handling any different than they might have been this week. Sometimes these open setups are used for the officials mostly, and then drivers don't really tweak them for the league races. So sometimes your car can behave a little bit differently when it comes time to run the league.
Yeah, definitely, because for the league we use accurate weather for what the real Xfinity Series did, as the pace car is pulling off down pit road. Zack Saunders on the bottom, Noah Hamilton on the top. We're green. That inside lane is going to get a pretty good launch here. Noah Hamilton's going to stay even or just in front of that 24 of Colby DeCarlo. We'll see that outside lane break up though and bail. So the 7 is stranded. He's got the 22 all the way back, but that's about 4 cars behind him. As we see, he's going to drop to about mid-pack, just maybe outside the top 10.
Yeah, 7's going to drop here. He's going to get picked up by the 22. Looks like hopefully he'll be able to give him a good push on the outside there. but 98 car just did not go on that restart, so that inside line fell apart quick, and the Majors Garage cars were able to slip in behind the 60 of Zack Saunders.
You saw the 7 car also kind of drop down, try to side draft a little bit during the corner to stall out that bottom line. It absolutely did not work. They still have about 5 cars on the bottom line, all the way back to those 2, the 7 car side by side, and then they're side by side for another 4 cars. So things are kind of chilling out a little bit there mid-pack, but the speeds are getting faster. We're at lap 18. So let's start seeing how they're going to do in about 10 laps when that tire wear is a lot worse.
Yeah, and especially because, I mean, we're on lap 19 of 45 for stage 1. We still got a little bit to go here. And, well, these guys, I think everyone's going to get comfortable here as the outside lane is making up some ground now, though. But I think you can run conservative side by side. That it's not that you have to be single filed out, but I don't think we're going to see the side drafting and the shoving as much as everyone gets more comfortable.
Man, I thought they were going to go 3 wide right there, and that would have been a very bad idea. Outside lane starting to form up. They've got about 7 cars behind them, and they're really starting to get together and form up, and now they're within a car length, maybe 2 car lengths, heading off into turns 3 and 4. Outside line seems to be getting better and better, housing momentum as they come out of turns 4. Going through that quad oval, can everybody stay safe? You see him beeping, wobbing. Again, that 22 car, man, he's scared me. It looks like he's getting ready to go 3 wide.
Well, part of that too, he could be cooling off his nose. If you're right behind some bumper for so long, you're going to overheat, and you run the risk of blowing up. So he just might be peeking his nose just to get some clean air on there, get some air, cool the water and the oil temp down, and so he can be back and pushing that 7 car.
Absolutely, definitely trying to get his nose out there, as you see on that in-car camera. But now you can see how close these cars are together. Look how close that outside wall is. That's the outside wall. You still got a car on the inside of you at 190 miles an hour. Coming off in turn 2, you're getting real close to the guy in front of you, maybe giving him a love tap as he sends him off into 3 and 4. Starting to go through the banking at 3 and 4. Notice again the cars just side by side, inches away from each other. Coming out of 4, that's where you start seeing everybody start deeping and wobbing. It is so difficult to hold your line coming out of that corner. Look at that's such a great shot. Look at that pack behind you. And you wonder how they get into so much trouble when there's a wreck.
We saw the 5 car there, Ryan Person will check up and really break up that outside line. He's about 5th in line on the top, I believe, in that bright green Quicker State car. We'll see if he can be able to pull himself back up. It's going to take probably until that backstretch for him to really be on that guy's bumper and for that momentum and that energy to go back up to the top.
They go, looks like he brought some friends with him. They will probably catch him at the end of the back straight here. They have 3 cars together, looking really good on that outside line now. Once again, it's just like a mini Daytona, side by side, no real movement. These cars are, wow, their times are not really dropping off that fast as much as I thought they would be, especially with this many laps.
Yeah, I mean, we're lap 25 in here, and we've already had 2 cautions, so we really only had probably 17-ish green flag laps on these tires. You really started to see it when we're into the 30s and the 40s on tires, especially because everyone's in that super speedway mindset of, well, I don't need tires, but Atlanta's going to chew your tires pretty hard. You're turning in a lot more than a Talladega or Daytona, especially on the top. We see, at least last night in the truck race, I saw that my car was super tight on the bottom, and so that's turning the car more. That's chewing up the right front even more, and that's where the handling goes away.
Now that race that you were in last night in the truck series, now when you're not in a series full time, you're not going to drive like the guys in the top 15. Those guys are trying to get stage points. How much different is your race planning going from somebody who's racing for points and who's somebody who's just kind of hanging in the back racing for the win?
I'd say my approach as an open car, not being full-time in that series, is still the same. It's still preparation for me for the Cup Series race. It still helps me learn some things, especially if there's some other open car guys who are Cup guys in there as well. Who can I work with? Even though they're all different cars and trucks, how the momentum is kind of the same. Obviously, the Cup car is a little bit different with the side drafting effect that it has to it, but I still approach it as more or less practice towards for the Cup Series, but I still want to win the race, so I'm still going to be aggressive. I'm going to try to save my truck towards the end. I'm going to let the boys fight out for stage points, and then I'll be there at the end.
Yeah, so it is a different mindset, you know, as far as you said, you're going to let those boys battle it out for the points in front of you. So going for the win, I think, is going to be a little less stressful for some of these guys. When you're out front, you know, there is so much more risk in that top 15 right now than there is in the back 15. They're all side by side. 30 laps into this thing, 15 laps to the stage. You don't have to worry about fuel. It's almost like a mini sprint race, isn't it? I mean, 45 laps really isn't that much here.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, 45 laps, and then we got another 45 for stage 2, and that's where we have a 73 lap run then for the final stage. So that's where we'll see a lot of this, the more single filed out. Everyone's just trying to make it to the end after stage 2. Yeah, it's a short stint. You learn what your car does, what it doesn't do.
We got another lap car. It's sorry to cut you off there, but just luckily he was able to drop the inside there.
Yeah. That's about the safest spot for a lap car to go.
Yeah.
Through the quad.
Yeah, he is.
As you see him merge up. But they all kept it straight.
Oof. We made it.
But back to the open car thing, the highest open car running in this race is Noah Hamilton, that white 7 car on the outside, leading that outside lane. So he's been aggressive early. He qualified very well. He's out there running pretty good laps. And he's controlling that outside with that 22, that factory motorsports 22 behind him.
Noah Hamilton races just about everything. I hear he even does lawnmowers, probably knowing that kid, and he's fast in everything he touches. He seems to be the type of driver, he's flat out no matter where he is. His driving style, I notice, is similar to Tony Stewart. He's a driver that you have to expect to see in the top 10 in the playoffs at the end of the Cup Series. Now you see him, I think he led that lap. Yeah, there he is back up front, the 60 car. Guys getting a little bit twitchy. It seems as if almost backed up into a bit of an accordion effect, but they managed to straighten it out. Bottom line starting to form up a little bit better and pull a little bit more lead. Yeah. Lap 33, maybe the tire wear is starting to affect some of these cars.
I mean, it looks like it, especially these guys on the top. It's going to chew more when you're running up there. It's the faster lane, but it's going to chew more. So,
yeah, and I have to say, it's sorry to cut you off there. It's the tire wear in combination with the low downforce when you're tucked in behind somebody. It just gets you real tight. It'll chew you up the track. Bad combo.
Yeah.
Not a track you want to be tight at. I would much rather be loose here than tight.
It's not a track you want to be loose at either.
Yeah.
You want to be as stable as you can be.
Yeah.
If that means taking some speed out of the car, that's what you got to do. I mean, we saw it last night. Lap 2. Myself and 2 others in front of me and 1 behind me, we all got loose. As soon as clean air hit my nose, we all got loose and almost lost it. We caused the wreck on lap 2. And sure enough, I was down pit road. I made some major adjustments and tightened it up, and even then it was still a little loose. Looks like these cars are handling a little better than the trucks were last night, but yeah, we see some of these guys start to get twitchy in that air, and the tire wear starting to kick in a little bit as we're trying to go through the stage.
to go in the stage. But to be honest with you, at this point, you're starting to get a little bit fatigued with the forearms, with the force feedback wheels that a lot of these guys have. You really are. I know I am. For the first 20 laps or so, you're just adrenaline is pumping, and you seem to grip that wheel so hard. And then towards the final stage of the race, you kind of chill out a little bit and you get used to it. But you have to be so focused. And we see one car, I don't know if they touched the wall, they came real close to it. You have to focus so hard at this track to keep yourself off the car on the outside, or vice versa. And that right there is the trickiest part of the track, coming through this quad oval.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
I'm sorry, you go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say, a lot of guys coming out on four will think that's the time to make it free wide, and that wall just comes up on you super fast.
You see Colby Del Carlo moving up to the top to get around that supercar. So finally some action up here in the top 10. Everyone was just kind of riding around, but now they saw a single-digit amount here left in the stage 1 and getting a little more aggressive here. Everyone, these full-time guys are fighting for stage points because it's going to matter coming down to the end of the season.
It is. Now, I'll tell you what, it seemed as if DeCarlo and Saunders kind of flipped spots. They went from high to low and back and forth. Guys are getting very aggressive towards the front of that pack. Right there, you kind of see it really bump drafting into the corners. Not a good idea. One car swerves way up high there, almost gets into the side of the 7. And it seems as if that outside line just gets a little bit more bite coming off of turn 4 as they come to the quad oval.
Yeah, as you see this 24 lead, not quite clear of the 60 down there on the bottom, but he's going to have more help here on exit. The top is naturally going to have more momentum as the push from the 7 wasn't quite there, so he lifted. As we see, the front 2 on the bottom almost clear that top. Saunders is clear. Saunders is your leader, that orange 60 car. As we see a guy on the bottom 3rd in line get loose, he's going to go down to the quad oval.
That was Dominic Lee in the 3 car.
Yeah, see, this is where the handling starts to come in here.
He did a great job saving that.
Yeah, we're close, winding down on stage 1 here.
Outside line, look for that side draft.
Real hard put off there.
I talked about this last week. The outside line is going to side draft you into the corner. The inside line is going to side draft you out of the corner. Try to minimize that advantage that you naturally have on the racetrack, where the outside gets the run out and the inside gets the run in.
Starting to see these guys getting a little more nudgy coming off the corners. Not something you want to do. Right there, you see an accordion effect on that outside lane. That's when things start to happen quick. And if there's a wreck in the front of this field, it's going to hurt a lot of guys' night. Never fails. You see one car there almost touched the wall. I don't know who that was. If it was Roebuck or Albertson or Stoltz, one of those guys, that white car there. These guys' tires are gone at this point. 43 laps into it, and you're starting to see him sway a little bit more. Oof. Saunders on the bottom, heading off into turns 3 and 4. He still has an edge. And the 7 car behind him, it looks like he's having a little bit of handling problems because he cannot keep that 7 down on the low line.
I think we're close in 2 to go in the stage here. Things are going to get really racy. We'll see.
Oh, and the
No,
23s around there. Collecting some cars, man. Big impact.
Who was that? I don't know who that was on that car just going over the line, but he didn't even think about hitting the brakes. Oh, tough hit for that 22 car too. Everybody just so close together. There it is. Oh man, well, that was a real hard hit.
Big hit for the 22 or Rodney Roberts as well. That's going to be a big hit, I believe.
Yep.
So I believe that makes 60 car Zack Saunders our stage winner. He was running good that entire stage. It seems like he had a couple different pushers behind him, but no matter who it was, he was still running out front.
had to know who that was that almost took out the cone right there as they came into the pits. And man, that wreck of that 22 car, I hope he wasn't in a full motion setup because he just came down with the serious case of concrete poisoning on that wreck. DeCarlo, Albertson, Sellers, Persinger, Saunders, Spalding, and they're going to be jumping everywhere. Everybody's coming down the pit. Now, what is the longest stretch we can do on fuel here?
I'm not entirely sure, but I mean, I think we could pull in our stage 1 winner and ask him here.
Let's talk to him.
Can you get him up here? Zack Saunders, it's the boys up in the booth. Got us?
Yeah, sure do.
Well, congratulations on your stage win. Nice rebound from Daytona here so far. What's been the strategy for stage 1, and what are you looking forward to for stage 2?
Hopefully some more of the same. That's it was really good racing up front. Definitely noticed the car getting ill handling towards the end of that stage, so I'm kind of curious to see what it does behind a couple of cars, and we'll go from there, and hopefully it's not too terrible.
Now we're interested for later on for stage 3. What's your fuel window, and what's kind of the general fuel window for the field here?
It's about 60 to 65.
Yeah. So they're going to be praying for caution flags. Now, you were talking about how your handling went away. How many laps are your tires good for before you really start seeing a drop off?
If we went green the whole time, I'd say probably around 30.
30 laps.
But I mean, it really depends on what kind of setup you're running. I'm running a pretty neutral setup, so I noticed on entry just a touch of understeer. So, but it's nothing really, to worry about or anything like that.
Well, congratulations on your stage 1 win. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here either for stage 2 or the end of the race. So
Hopefully.
All right, good luck, buddy.
Thank you.
that was our stage 1 winner of Zack Saunders in that 60 Ford Mustang for, I believe it's Tipton Harding Motorsports.
He runs fast no matter where he is. He's one of those guys that I just can't keep up with, that's for sure. Now we're looking towards the back of the pack. I see a couple of cars. I think that's Bob Baker's 20 laps behind. And I didn't quite see if there was anybody who's down just 1 lap.
Well, I can tell you here, Nick Basson is 1 lap down. Nathan Fuller and Rodney Roberts are 2 down, about to go 3 down. They have meatball flakes from that wreck that got out the most recent caution.
Tough break for them because, you get a meatball here, it takes at least 3 minutes for towing, and you're going to be there for a while.
As we come to the choose cone, our stage 1 winner, Zack Saunders, to the bottom. Noah Hamilton to the top, followed by his team owner in the Cup Series, Nichelle Condor. With him, that's going to be our 3rd place car, 2nd on the outside. We're going to see John Terrell fill in that 2nd slot there on the bottom for the 2nd row. Blake Roebuck will be 3rd on the bottom, with Nathaniel Campbell, owner for Hollywood Motorsports, 3rd on the top.
We got the 99 Bell in 7th spot.
I believe so.
Yep, Bell's P7 currently. Yep.
P7. Yeah, and Hume, he's still pretty much where he started. He's back in 12th. We talked about him pre-race. He just had such a nice mellow line and was just kind of smooth, just driving around like it was a Sunday afternoon. And You know, with that 4-car, it kind of gives me the old Sterling Marling vibe from back in the early 90s. Pace car comes off the track, getting ready to head to the Geico restart zone, and we'll see who gets the better jump this time, boys.
Yeah, it looks like it's pretty even, but the top is broken up on the 7. The 60 is going to have some more help here going into turn 1 that should propel them and help them onto the back straightaway to easily clear that top lane.
Everybody has new tires, everybody has new dancing shoes, and they're happy about it because you do not want old tires here. These guys literally pushing each other going down the back straightaway. These guys are not really holding back at all. They're going all for it.
Yeah, certainly, if you see the tops kind of start to form, there's 4 cars now, nose to tail. As then, I believe that's Jonathan Ledger back there is that 5th car on the top. But this bottom, they're holding their own pretty good for only having really 4 cars up there right now.
Oh, and the 7 getting loose.
Yes.
And looked like a pretty aggressive push by the 97 there. Still able to keep up with the inside line for the most part. But yeah, inside line seems to be the place to be. Stage 1 seemed like it was a dominant line for most of the stage there, and showing to be the same here as we begin stage 2.
I noticed everybody on their best behavior with that bottom line, not to go below it. I know Corey's watching it like a hawk. That's one of his pet peeves here. These guys on the bottom line are about 10 cars going back. It does just reek of Daytona when you're watching these cars side by side.
Yeah, it does, but it's a lot, as we've said numerous times tonight already to this point. It's a lot tighter than the Daytonas and Talladegas. There's less room for error, and I'm sure at some point tonight we'll see 3 wide.
Somebody's going to try it at one point. As they come off the back straightaway, you see Terrell actually pushing Saunders off into turns 3 and 4. Now this track, even though it's intense, it's a very fun track to drive. It really is. It's so hard to keep a long green run here without wrecking, depending on who you're with. But it is a fun track, don't get us wrong. Now that we're into this thing, we're into stage 2. At what point, if you're saving your car towards the back, at what point do you have to decide to make your move?
Well, I would say you got to do it with, if we run green for this stage, I would say about that 15 to 10 to go, you got to start really pushing harder. If you're trying to just save your tires to keep the handling on that car, you could really make that outside lane work if you save your tires. I did it numerous times in the official races this week, where we were single filed out and I was kind of running, 10th in line, and me and one other guy would go around an 8-car train, and we would be up fighting for the lead then. So I would say if we stay single file like the top is, like how we are now, it's a lot harder to make your move because you're kind of trapped. Especially if you're on the bottom here in this top 5. If you're not the leader, the 2nd place car, you're trapped. Unless if you throw it 3 wide middle, there's nowhere for you to go. So I think guys have that in the back of their mind here today, and they're, especially for the end of the race, we'll see guys get into position with 20, 25 to go and be ready to get that race-winning move.
Yeah, you have to think that some of these guys are still just thinking, keep the car safe, keep it alive until the end. Because I really do feel like here, like you were saying, if everyone gets into a single line, you're the guy that jumps out of line, you're just going to fall to the back. So you really have to make that effort to move forward sooner rather than later here, I would say.
Yeah, it's just, if we stay double 5 like this, you're not going to have anywhere to go, and especially if these guys are pushing hard like they are, their cars aren't going to be handling that well, and then when you add more air to the other side of the car, it's going to upset that car in the middle even more, and that's where we will see wrecks happen.
Just over a half a second separates the top 10 at this point. Starting to see guys dance around a little bit more already towards out of the pack. Some guys are trying to cool their cars off, as you said earlier. Other guys, I think, starting to get really tight. You're seeing them push up the track a lot more mid-pack. Let's go. Can we go? Let's go in car with somebody mid-pack just to show everybody how close and how hectic it is when you're side by side on that inside lane. There it is, right there.
Cameron Albertson, he's currently 16th on timing and scoring. And you can see on the top, you can't really see much in front of you, so very hard to see those first guys, or those guys in front of you if they wreck or get loose. You just kind of have to react to the car in front of you and just follow them.
And I don't know about you guys, but you can hear those tires squeak when they go onto that tri-oval just because you have to correct just a bit. You don't want to do too much, obviously, or else you'll go sideways into the wall, but definitely a handful around here.
It's very easy to get loose going through that quad oval. And now you see Hume on the inside line. He's back in about the 11th or 12th spot right now. They switch so fast. Now as you come through this area here, you start seeing guys with the habit a lot of drivers get into doing, new drivers, is they try to follow the car in front of them instead of following their own line. When you do that, if that driver on the outside gets loose, you're going to follow him and you're going to get yourself loose into that guy on the outside of you. So it's always important to focus and stay on your line, not the guy in front of you. But then again, when you're at a track like this, you're trying to stay as close to the guy in front of you. So it's a catch-22 either way.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, on the bottom here, you're trapped. Like, it's arguably the safest place to be because we tend to see with the banking, the wrecks go high. But if you're trying to make a move, especially as we wind down here at the stage, still very early on, but everyone's trying to kind of get into position now, kind of deadlocked where we are. But the safest place you can avoid easier being low. But one of the cons is you're locked there. You can't make a move anywhere. I think everyone's content with just riding for now, as they're pretty safely double file here. That outside lane isn't squeezing the bottom as much as they could be, and the top isn't drifting up like we would see if the tires and the car wasn't handling well. So I think everyone's just kind of hanging out and running hard, but safe, and just trying to make it to stage.
I was watching Roebuck in that number 6 car. He kind of backs off in front of him. As they come out of the corners, especially here on the back straight, he seems to just, it looks like he's trying to just time it to catch up with the guy in front of him. It's almost as if he's not really going full throttle. He's kind of just feathering it a little bit just to try to save a little bit, but he can move whenever he wants to move. That car seems to be handling very well.
That does. I haven't seen him get loose or get squirrely once yet tonight. And a part of that too, yeah, he's kind of saving his tires. He's leaving the gap. It's not like they're getting freight trained by the top, so he doesn't necessarily need to be there to help out. That's one of the aspects that is very different from the Cup car. You really need that third guy in line to be on that second guy in line to help propel that lane forward. Yeah, the Xfinity car is just different. There's no real bubble there. As we see, 68 Saunders get a little bit high, but they corrected that inside lane. But he's just kind of holding his own. He's saving his tires. He's making sure he has the handling for that car for the end of the stage.
That's such a great shot looking down the back straightaway. Looking at everybody behind you, you can see how crazy it gets. This track with this speed is so much fun. Like I said, it's a blast running this track. So tiring after a while. And these guys just, you know, when you race with people, like most of these guys race with each other, we know every week, but there are a lot of new people. They race in other divisions together and everything else. It has been a very clean race so far, for only being the second race of the season.
Yeah, I think everybody kind of learned a lot from what everybody's tendencies are from Daytona, and are kind of remembering that, okay, this guy likes to pin, or this guy likes to run the bottom hard. this guy kind of just hangs out. I can trust him to push me. He pushed me pretty well at Daytona. All that stuff is being applied here. That's what they learned last week. So I kind of expected them to be a little more comfortable around each other, and it's showing here so far.
Yeah, we had a couple early cautions, but since then it's been green flag racing here at Atlanta. We're on lap 68, 23 out of 45 of the second stage. Zack Saunders still out front, being pushed by the 98 of John Terrell. We got a lap car coming up, so hold your breath.
Yeah, we'll see. I believe that's
about to say a bad spot. Bad.
That's the 11 of Bob Baker.
Boy.
Check up that bottom lane.
Oh boy.
And there he goes.
Man, I hate that I can predict that, but it's just the nature of these restrictor plate tracks. When you come up on the
Especially
lap
Atlanta.
cars, yeah, just no
It's so
space.
tight. There's not really the room, and it seemed to always catch him in the quad over, right? So down the back stretch, it's a little different. Going into 3, going into 1, it's a little easier to do to get around him with the quad overs.
Yeah, you see, he should not be in that lane right there, but I think he was trying to get down below. He just could not get the car turned, and he just got run over. But I mean,
That's a big one.
Just-
There's a lot of
yeah,
folks involved with that.
A lot
yeah,
of,
there is.
I think that was Nishil Condor that was involved there as well. So we saw we did there was a couple cars that came down pit road just because of how we catch the pace car here at Atlanta. The new entry to pit road, it opens up like right away. So as we saw, like Nathaniel Campbell was the highest running car that came down pit road.
Yep, and
I-
looks like Hume's into, I don't know how much damage he got. Doesn't look like much. He's already off again. So
Yeah, that car looks pretty clean. He finished second or third last week?
he finished second place last week.
Second. So I mean, we talked to him midway through the race, and he said, "Yeah, I'm just trying to get the car to the end," and that's exactly what he did. Is that 6 car, Josh Roebuck, looks like he has a lot of damage.
The 63 has had better days as well. All scraped up on the side.
Oh,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
hood's tore off there. Is
That's the
doesn't
six
look like
car
on
of-
timing and scoring that he has a too much damage flag, so he might be able to get that car back out there. And in the draft, you can have, with these restrictor plate tracks, you can have more damage and you can run in the back. And the key is just to have somebody behind you to propel you forward and keep you with the car in front. As we see the 11 car of Bob Baker smoking on pit road.
someone's grilling. Yeah.
Yeah, he took a big hit to the outside wall as he was that lap car there that got turned.
Yep, and I completely agree with you. You can still salvage a decent finish here, even if your car is banged up. Obviously not passing the maximum repair time. But yeah, as long as you slot into a good spot and chaos happens on the last lap, you might find yourself with a better finish than you might have thought originally.
Be the 39, I think, of Cameron Albertson. I don't think he has a hood either, and he's up here in the top 10. Unless if I was just seeing wrong.
Nope, no hood.
No hood, so we'll see how he does up here. And I mean, it looks like he's driving almost a modified at this point, but
Yeah.
Heck yeah, now we're talking.
this will be a real tell of how much damage is too much to stay in that pack. Now he's got a lot of guys behind him, so he might be able to get it to work, but it's a real struggle when you don't have anybody behind you. It's a lot easier to lose the pack that way.
Oh, my Atlanta, it's Atlanta. That's all you can say. This place rips up race cars now a lot more than it used to. I remember when the Indy cars used to run here way back in the late 80s, and you know, the speeds that they used to get, and that was before they made this track a D-shaped oval. This used to be just a regular oval.
As the pace car pulls off, Zack Saunders on the bottom, Caleb Sheets on the top, I believe. As they go green, as we see the 7. I
Whoa!
don't know what's going on with the 7 there. But he's down there on the dog leg. I think he's letting everybody by. He might merge up. Something's going on with that 7 car there as they single file out up front.
Yeah, not exactly what happened. Not sure what happened there. Maybe he got attacked by a house cat or something, but he had to drop back.
We have one car there with no numbers. Is that
That's Caleb Sheets.
Yeah, once we go to that ad break, I'll refresh the paints again. I thought I did it after qualifying, but might as well do it one more time.
Might as well.
one
Zack
guy?
Saunders gets shuffled out here to the outside. There's nobody up there on the top.
Nobody.
He looks like he's gonna drop unless if somebody goes out there to help him.
But it looks like he's gonna get some help from. Thought he was gonna get help from the guy that he's supposed to be racing. You see him trying to side draft to the corners. If anybody was smart, they would go up with him, because he's one of those drivers that you want to follow. But it looks like, you know, everybody's kind of staying down low, and if you think about it, lap 74 out of 163, if you can get Zack Saunders a lap down, or at the end of the back of the pack at least, I would do that every day of the week. Too dangerous to stay out front.
Oh, as we get the yellow,
Yes.
Bill flag is out. Looks like maybe the. Not
Saw
sure who
something.
is that? Looks like maybe the 15 or the 4 car.
Oh, right there.
Oh, there we go. The 15 kind of just spun around and
Looks like
Humes nowhere to go. And
Oh,
just
man.
from there.
He's got a little front end damage, it seems.
Yeah, it doesn't look like too much damage on that car, but I mean, we saw there though, Zack Saunders was able to hold his own there on the top by himself by side drafting.
Yeah, that
So
was
that's
pretty
something-
surprising to see him be able to stay up there with no help on the outside.
That's a big thing that these drivers are going to put in the back of their head for the end of this race if we ever get single filed out like they do in real life, or they did in real life here at Atlanta. Towards the end, you can hold your own by yourself as long as you can side draft your way back up. So that's something that the drivers learned just now, and they're going to put back in the memory there for later.
Yep, and we are getting reports from our esteemed reporter on pit lane, Bucks on YouTube, that the 7 screen went black on that restart. So that's the cause of those early restart mishaps for the 7 there.
As we see the 5 car get the lucky dog there, I believe that was.
All right, well, let's take a quick ad break. I'll get these paints reloaded while we're doing that, and we'll be back.
Are you struggling to keep up with the top drivers? Are you ready to get faster and more consistent? If so, it doesn't have to take as long as you might think. With the VRS competitive subscription, you'll have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything you need to analyze your driving and see exactly where you're losing time. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off your lap times. When it comes to your equipment holding you back, the powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the best drivers in the world, including Jordan Caruso, Tim Ryan, Jordi Lopez, and Oscar Piastri. It's no secret that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also the best value for money. So if you're looking to upgrade your wheelbase to direct drive and want highly adjustable, ultra-realistic pedals, VRS is your answer. You can get better, faster, and more consistent in less time and for less money. You owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. Just go to the URL or the button below and learn why the best use VRS.
All right, and we're back here at Atlanta. Thanks you guys for tuning in tonight. I know we had some troubles early, but I think we're good now. So we just have to finish out stage 2 here.
Those lights are back on the pace car here. Not going green this time. We're just gonna do one more lap around. I think race control is trying to figure out something here. So got another lap to go. Well, I think we're going to green. We here just over 10 to go in stage 2. Trying to get to lap 90 for that. But after that, we're gonna have a long run here towards the end.
You notice the 7 cars back up. He's in 9th spot, even though he had that issue with the screen. And look who's above him in the 8th position. Car number 8, Joe Gibbons.
Yeah, Joe's having a good run today. Joe and, well, the 8 and the 08 are right next to each other. So
Yep.
Sylvain Joly, I believe, that's how you say it. He's there, slotted right in front of the 7. Josh Schultz has been real quiet tonight so far. Just outside the top 10 and 6th there, or top 5 and 6th there. Yeah, Josh is another one that's going to be a factor late in the race if he's there. It's a very talented driver. Everything he gets in it, he's pretty fast in, just like that 60 car up front. A lot of these guys here are really good in a lot of these cars, but it seems to be a popular trend here that everyone preferred the Xfinity car.
Yeah, I mean, Zack Saunders drove really well in the Cup Series last year, and he wants nothing to do with the Cup cars anymore. He loves his Xfinity car.
Yeah, I mean, I talked to him today, and he really seems like he might do the Crown Jewels, but really only the road courses he's going to do, as he's a really strong road course racer. As pace car is off, Saunders in the 60 on the top, Caleb Sheets in the 26 on the bottom. Green flag is out. Sheets is going to get a good launch here. He's going to break himself away pretty far from that bottom lane. As outside of Sheets, both lanes seem formed pretty good. That 7 car is going to go down to the bottom, as that inside lane is going to catch the 26 of Caleb Sheets.
Sheets absolutely loved having all that room behind him because he got to pick his entrance and he went real wide to get a nice little arc and then to pick up some momentum. Now the back of the field is caught up to him. They're side by side going through 3 and 4. The top 6 cars coming off the corner, they're able to keep it straight as they go through the quad oval. Further on in the back, a couple of cars having a little bit of trouble, but up front, it's still those top 8 cars side by side.
As we can see the wiggling now out of the cars. We can see the aggression level go through the roof as we're closing in on 10 to go this time by for stage 2.
One of the things about stage racing that I'm not really a big fan of the stage racing, but one thing it does do is usually a track at Atlanta, when it was the real races back in the day, they would just drive around just killing time. Now there's actually a purpose and there's a lot more racing. So even though I dislike it, it still makes this happen right here. Middle of the race, now everybody is flat out.
Yeah, I mean, it pays. If you win the stage, it pays a playoff point, and we see time after time again, every single point matters. And the drivers are thinking that from Daytona, when the cars rolled onto the track, you gotta maximize points every week you can. So we're gonna get these guys get even more aggressive. I think we might see some blocks here towards the end of stage 2, but we got a pretty strong double file pack.
Side by side. Oh, go ahead, buddy.
no, Nathaniel Campbell looked like he was going to go 3 wide. Gives the 60 a shot, gets him a little loose. But that outside lane's gonna drop back just a little bit. It's gonna allow the 26 to clear, and he can elect to go high now if he would like.
Now you see like all these cars starting to catch up with each other. You're starting to get a lot more cars running together. Coming down to the last couple of laps here, it seems as if Sheets he's controlling this race. He's able to go anywhere he wants. Good handling car.
That 29 was getting pushed hard into 4 there. He almost got a little bit loose, touching the red line, able to gather it up.
Yeah, as we see a lot more wiggling now out of these cars. The aggression, like I think earlier in the stage, everybody was lifting, getting into the corner, and just trying to make it through, keep the car stable. But now nobody's lifting. Everybody's full out or close to it. And that's where we see the handling start to go away, the tires start to wear. The Sheets looked like he wanted to go up and block that top, but elects to stay low.
Yeah, you got Campbell and Saunders. Campbell's beating the paint off the back bumper, trying to push that 60 car a little bit further ahead. Coming down the back straightaway, notice the closing time you get right there out of this car. Absolutely amazing run he got off the corner. Now you look at the angle heading off into 3 and 4. Look at the size of the crowd that's here in Atlanta. That's how you know it's iRacing. Coming through that little quad oval, look like that car almost, man, it looks like they're flirting with that line just so dramatically, and they're able to make it look so smooth. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, and the real question here is that 29 or that 82. Are they going to jump out 3 wide here towards the end? Especially coming off of 4 on the last lap of this stage. Try to win this stage. Both full-time drivers, I believe. So we'll see who wants to be aggressive. Still about just over halfway with this race.
Well, if we look at the top 2 who ran in last week's race, only Saunders is the one who's still around. You had Hume that was running very well earlier, who just had his luck disappear from him so far at the end of this race, but he's still out there battling. Nathan Campbell bumping hard, trying to just smash that 60 car up to the lead. And ladies, look at the Riz and Nathan Campbell's photo at the bottom of your screen. How can you say no to that, ladies? Swipe right. No, swipe left. Which way do you swipe?
Swipe right.
Swipe right for Nathan Campbell.
We'll see a lap car stay on the apron. They're going to get around him pretty cleanly and safely. So we got a view of the 43 here of Josh Schultz. He's been real quiet, like I said earlier tonight. He's going to be a factor here, especially to the end of the stage. He might be one of them that hops out of line and sees if anybody's going to go 3 with him towards the end as we're closing up here. Stage 2. 2 to go, actually, in stage 2 here.
Every race we've seen Stoltzen, he's been very strong, very fast. Definitely going to be a contender at the end of this year. It's not like he's inexperienced. He knows what he's doing. These guys, look at this pack right now. We have about 18 cars side by side going through the quad oval.
As we get the white flag for stage 2. One more time around, and then stage points will be awarded. We'll see how aggressive we get here. Zack Saunders on the top, Caleb Sheets on the bottom. We'll see who can get the better push. Nathaniel Campbell is a little closer to Zack Saunders. They're going to try to clear themselves. Saunders is clear. He's going to move low, block that inside lane. Now that leaves Nathaniel Campbell to lead the top. We'll see if Josh Schultz can get up to him and push him past.
He's going to get him.
Looks like Zack Saunders is going to pull an Austin Hill and sweep the stages here at Atlanta.
It seemed like Saunders actually helped Campbell at the end there kind of move forward just enough to get that second place to the scores run.
Allow him to pull a little closer to him.
Yep. Maybe drag the brake a little bit on the 26 car to slow him down so that outside of him. Just saying, maybe.
I think these we only had 1 caution that stage, right?
We did.
Yeah, I think that was good. We might see some green flag pit stops. That would be our first here for the Team Conti series.
As Saunders said, it's about 60 laps, and well, this stage is going to be about 70. So we'll see what we do. I think these guys are going to be just short. We would have to run green pretty much
I probably just jinxed
for
it
the whole
too.
stage.
But not
Probably
only,
did, but
well,
it's
not
all
only
right.
that, 60 laps is a lot to ask. You know, and if they have to go 70 laps on a tank of fuel, well, the only way you can go 70 laps on here is if you have a few cautions. One caution is not going to take care of 10 laps here.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm sure as soon as these drivers leave pit road, it's going to be save, 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 save.
Hopefully they still have at least one more set of tires. I would imagine that they did, unless they had trouble early in the race. But even still, Campbell, Saunders, Sheets, Stoltz, Hamilton, your top 5. And, you know, we're coming down to 63 laps to go. Right now we have 70 laps. And by the time we go green, it'll be 68 laps.
67-ish.
Yeah.
So about 7-ish laps right outside that fuel window. Now, if we run green the whole way through,
No.
I would say you might be able, especially if you're on the back of the pack, to be able to save a good amount of fuel. I don't know if it's 7 laps worth of fuel, but we're gonna see everybody come down pit road for 4 tires and a full tank.
Right now, definitely. Another thing we're going to have to watch is how the strategy plays out. Now, right now, we know they're going to have to go at least 68 laps on this full fuel load with the tires and everything else. If there's a quick caution, say 10, 15 laps or so, how many guys are going to come in for that pit stop compared to somebody? You think everybody's going to do it on that first caution?
I think everybody would come down. 15 laps. I don't know how many sets. I think these guys got 4 extra sets to play with. We've already used, well, this is going to be going on using 2 sets here already. So you're going to have 2 sets to use for the final stage. And I think everybody with 15, you're in the fuel window then. The tires are going to get a little sketchy, but you can make it work.
The gambler in me, I would try it. I would come in the first caution no matter what. And, you know, as long as it's over that 10 lap rule, you know, figure. And I would come in at the earliest possible time and just kind of wait if I was point racing. But the gambler in me, I'm sorry, I would wait a caution or two and maybe kind of just hope that later on, close to the end, you get a quick caution, come out with fresh tires where everybody else is struggling. Or is this not the type of track to try that at?
I don't necessarily think Atlanta's, like, if you're at a Phoenix or a Vegas, I could see that. But at Atlanta, I think you gotta, there's always the case of we might go green.
Yep.
So you gotta come down and be the same strategy. I just think the final stage isn't long enough to open up the playbook for strategy. Now, that's not saying 2 tires and 4 tires or even no tires aren't in the picture. That's something that we could see under a caution for guys trying to gain track position. I think that's something we'll see in that type of gamble on the tire aspect of things, but I don't think staying out is going to happen.
You know, 2 tires here at Atlanta, that is... that's pretty sketchy. That's pretty sketchy. There's certain tracks that just 2 tires. If this was New Hampshire, you know, or like a flatter track, I can see 2 tires, but
I mean,
I don't know about these high backs.
I did it last night, and it paid off pretty well. I got the track
Yeah.
position until with about 5 to go. I was involved in a wreck, and that's what took me out. But I had gotten the track position, and I got back up front after being involved in a earlier wreck. I was able to get back up front and hold my own pretty good up there on the top.
This is the only series that I've tried 2 tire, and it was at Chicagoland, and man, the worst thing I ever did was go for 2 tires because
Really?
it was just so horribly loose for me, but
I
th
won
this
a I won an official race at Chicagoland off of just 2 tires. I think it was a green white checkered, so and we had already put 30 some laps on our tires, so I took the I was running like 8th. I took the gamble to take 2. Came out of pit road 3rd, and I ended up winning the race because of it.
well,
But
there's no way it's my driving style to get ready to come off of turn 3s and 4 to get ready to come. Geico restarts on that bottom line once again, and the 60 car seemed as if he missed a shift.
might have, or it was just bad reaction time there. That's going to check up that outside line pretty good. These top 2 of Nathaniel Campbell and Caleb Sheets are going to pull away, but everybody's going to close back up on them as the 29 gets to the back bumper of the 26. As we see this outside lane starting to roll. Only 3 cars up there, but we saw Saunders be able to hold his own as Caleb Sheets looking high. Nathaniel Campbell looking high as well. Sheets with a little bit of a fake to get that lead. He's going to control that bottom lane as Nathaniel Campbell moves up to control the top.
Sheets just gave him the old okey doke. I'm going to go high, you go low, and then switched it up on him. I think he prefers that bottom line, and he just got it in a great move. That outside line with Campbell starting to pick up a little bit more. That 60 car really on his back bumper, trying to push him off into turns 3 and 4.
Notable, Keith Hill moving up to 14th in that Ford car. Involved in a wreck earlier, I believe it's at the end of stage 1. Or no, it was the only caution of cause for stage 2, and he's slowly making way back up to the 13th position. And that orange and black car as we go on board with him here.
Seeing Sellers in that 25 car in 6th position. He's having a great run.
And listen how much he's lifting into these corners. He's got save on his mind right now.
Yes, he does. See how smooth he is on and off the throttle. You see the other guys just fucking around, and he's just so smooth and just so fast. So I expect a lot out of that kid by the end of the year. I think he's going to be one of the top competitors.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, back up to the front here. You see Stoltz behind Saunders. Stoltz had an early wreck at Daytona last week, if I remember correctly. But as you guys were mentioning, he's definitely a quick driver, very skilled driver. So it's good for him to be up front here. Much safer space this week than he was last week.
Definitely, he was starting in the back last week, and he was trying to make his way up to the field as quick as he could, and that got him into a wreck. But all day long, and he's sitting pretty up here, 3rd in line on the top.
I think Sellers got a little bit too close to the 29 car of Valade as they went into the corner. You see, the 29 car seemed to get loose there as they were entering in through that into turns 3 and 4, but they've got it straightened out now. Top 9 cars are side by side all the way back. 7 car of Hamilton working his way up on that outside line behind the 43 of Stoltz. You see the rookie stripes in the car in front with Valade, Alan Valade. We got to come up with a nickname with him too, because that's another one I'm having trouble pronouncing. I'm from New England. We don't do R's and A's and E's and all this other stuff. We do EH.
Like you said, no Hamilton up there, slotting 4th in line on the top. Oh, as they lose, no yellow. They kept it straight here.
I don't know. Valade got. It looked like Valade did get in the car in front of him with Sellers.
Yeah, but that's going to really break up. That really broke up that bottom as we see these top 4 prevailing here on the top. They're going to go by these top 2 as we wait for that inside lane to catch back up.
Yeah, they're sitting ducks on that bottom line, but they're giving everything they got to kind of catch forward. And you know what? We saw a car on the outside all by himself. I believe it was Saunders in that 60 car. He ran on that outside lane all by himself. And now you see that bottom lane, they caught right back up. And now they're threatening down on the bottom line.
Yeah, they sure did. There's only 4 cars up there on the top. A big gap to that 5th car all the way up there. So they're on their own up there. We'll see what they can do and how aggressive they get with still 59 laps to go in the race.
I love how they come off the corner. You can hear those engines singing. You are pretty much flat out everywhere around this track, unless you're trying to save a little bit like we saw out of here. These guys up front, I seriously doubt they're lifting at all.
We go on board here with Josh Schultz.
Just like seeing that Josh Schultz lifts off running into the 60 car.
Very smooth with the wheel, not wiggling, not doing too much here. He's keeping his nose up in there. Pull that engine down. He's right back. Look how smooth he is with the wheel there.
Somebody in our chat asking, where is Austin Brundle? You can see him racing tomorrow night. Austin leaving the booth, the Moto Cup Series. Have to love the detail with iRacing. As we were in that shot looking back at the car behind you, you can see all the grease and bug and dirt splattered on the car in front of him. We got a wrecked car way down below. That's what's left of that poor 6 car.
But 17 in the wall. Let's see if they can get it. Looks like they were able to get it bottled up there. I think that was Michael Deach. I believe he's a lap down as well, so could have just been trying to get out of the way there.
As we see, they're kind of single filed out here back there. They're just kind of trying to get in line and try to catch back up to this main, this top 10, top 12 that is all side by side up here.
Now, we saw Hume in the back feathering and saving. Do you think maybe he's going to try it?
We'll see. I mean, at this rate right now, we're going to go, it looks like we're going green. You guys aren't getting too aggressive, and he might be sitting pretty there. Just saving. He's also, what he's doing too is saving tires as well, especially if you go green. It's going to be such a crucial who saved their tires the most. I never thought I'd be saying that at a super speedway track, but the tires really do matter here.
They do.
Not as much as old Atlanta, but they matter a lot more than Talladega and Daytona.
Yes.
So he's going to be sitting pretty good here. He's running there. He's pretty safe down there on the bottom. He's got time to check up. He can move up if the 9 car Jonathan clears him. He can maneuver around to avoid a wreck. The only concern he's got to worry about is getting ARCA braked into.
That certainly would never happen in the Xfinity Series. Bennett TNL 250 is coming down to the end. We're on lap 111. 163 is the total. Final stage. Yep, 163 laps total is what we're trying to complete. These guys in that top 10 cars, again, side by side, they're not saving. They're just puffing and puffing. And if you look behind there, I think it's that car, I think that might be Jonathan Legger, that black car. He's hanging out back, but he's giving himself plenty of room for an incident to be able to avoid as he just blinks as we talk about him.
As they barely avoid that 54 machine, and they're getting on the apron out of the way. But yeah, Jonathan's having a pretty quiet, strong night.
I think this is one of the leagues that Jonathan doesn't have 3/4 of the field of fighting for his rap. why they call it the pancake. He really does a great job. Does it so fast too.
Running on board with Jonathan here. Getting really close to the car on the inside. Side drafting him.
Jonathan with the beard, giving a little bit of the Al Borland. From the top of the car, I bet you Jonathan's excited for Dodge returning to the Truck Series. Look at that bottom line, that 93 car. He just got a huge run off.
As we see Colby DeCarlo involved in an earlier wreck, recovering quite well here when it matters most. It's going to be that last car on the top there in that black and blue.
Yep, just a little bit of rear damage for him. Nothing too bad. Definitely still can salvage a good finish here.
Somebody's asking for an update on Justin Bell.
Justin Bell currently riding P21. Looks like he had some damage that he had to go into the pit to fix.
Like he's 7-ish laps down.
Yeah, like he was involved in that big one that we had not that long ago.
He was our preseason winner at Auto Club. Started up the season really strong, but kind of a rough going of these first 2 points races of Daytona and Atlanta. As you see, nothing's changed up front so far. Nathaniel Campbell and that blue 82 machine leading the outside, Caleb Sheets and that red and white.
Whoa, look out!
26 leading the bottom as guys are starting to get squirrely. Tires are starting to go away as we come to 46 to go.
And we just had a couple of cars go 3 wide just then. Real close call.
See
that car there in the middle.
Yeah.
He's looking to move forward. He's starting to get a lot more aggressive.
And those are the 2 major garage cars, guys, that are getting a little aggressive here. I think that 15 machine, the lap car, sitting in the pack. So looking to get around him.
Getting ready to come across. Finish, it'll be lap 120. About 43 laps to go. It's getting more and more like a Saturday night shootout. And we're starting to see cars getting a lot more squirrely. You see that 7 car having a little issue keeping his line. Starting to fall back a little bit.
We see that 60 of Saunders weaving a little bit more on the exit under the straightaway here. Tires are starting to go away. We'll see. This is what the 4 car of Hume has been waiting for. These guys, his handling starts to go away, and it makes it easier for him to make moves. It makes it easier for him to ride the top.
This guy's really starting to push real hard towards the front of the track. That's where you don't want to get pushed. Right there going through that little dog leg. That is never a good idea. Across the corner. Looks like they want to go 3 wide one more time. I think that's DeCarlo maybe in that dark colored car.
Yep, DeCarlo's that
yeah.
5th car in line there on the top, followed by that 7 machine of Noah Hamilton. 2 Chevys in line up there. Then we got 2 Toyotas on the top, a Ford, and then another Chevy leading it. On the bottom, it's supposed to be a Toyota, but it's in sim as a Chevy in Caleb Sheets. Drives for Palmetto. And then we got kind of a lone factory car and Dominic Lee up there alone. His 2 teammates have been taken out early with Rex, and Rodney Roberts, and I believe Roebuck is one of his teammates as well.
One guy who's looking to have a strong finish again tonight is Joe Gibbons in that 8 car. He's hanging out in the top 10 there on that bottom line. He seems to be just running right now, just a very conservative pace. Not pushing anything. It doesn't look like he's trying to move forward just yet. Just kind of keeping it safe for himself. And he's raced a lot the last couple of years, and he's watching those cars in front of him. He knows that if trouble happens, he's going to try to go low to get through it all and maybe benefit from a lot of it. These guys now, that top 10 still running within less than a half a second of each other as they come through that dogleg side by side, tripping off into the corner. These guys really, see further back in the pack, some of these cars having a lot of trouble holding their lines.
As
Right
we
there.
see that outside slowly creeping ahead there this lap as we're coming to the line for 39 to go.
Again, that toe, oh man.
Yeah, they're just gridlocked up here, but handling, we can see handling is slowly starting to go away, and we'll see who can manage it best and can use it to their advantage as well.
Problem is when you're on that lower line and your tire starts going away and you're losing your handling, you go into that corner so hard you start sliding up. There's two ways out of it. You either let off the gas and hope you don't get run over, or you stay with it and stay in the throttle and just pray to Jesus that you don't take out the guy on the outside.
And we're 3 wide here, coming on to the back stretch, the front stretch. Sorry.
That's two majors cars and a lap car and Tyler Krosek up there on the top. Looks like Nathaniel Camber is going to cover the bottom. It's going to split that 43 up high as well. Looks like now they can get all slotted in line here. Kobe Del Caro with an aggressive move, but it worked, and he's now slotting. He went from 5th to 3rd there on the top.
Ricky Bobby, hold my beer. Here comes DeCarlo with that 24 car with an impressive move. That was by far the best move we've seen so far tonight.
And I have a feeling now that we're going to start to see those a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more as these laps wind down. As to the line this time, 36 to go here at Atlanta.
These cars are just whipping off laps. You see those cars right there just getting very close together. And all of a sudden, DeCarlo with that 24 car is out front on that outside line. That is not something you want to do. You not want to see, rather, if you're in the front too. And look at him just drive right up. He went from, what, 10th spot to the 6th spot? Whoa!
Oh man, we're 3 wide again on the front stretch.
It looked like he lost it out of the corner.
Yeah. As we see the front 2 there on the top, Nathaniel Campbell and Zack Saunders go bottom. That's going to weave out that top lane. We'll see if they can get recollected here. Josh Schultz on the leader of that top. We'll see if anybody in these front 4 jump out. Yep, there goes Dominic Lee. He's going to move up to the top. Control that top line going in. I believe that's 3 and 4. Yep.
Oh boy.
As he gets
goes high.
out, hits the wall. 3 wide again. Josh Schultz goes back through it. DeCarlo, Tyler, Noah Hamilton. As we see Noah Hamilton spinning down there on the bottom.
No.
They're going to come up the track.
Oh, collect 2, 3.
No
3
yellow
cars.
flag yet. Caution is out
Caution's out.
finally
Yeah.
with 34 to go.
Wow.
Boy, Keith Hume was one of those guys that we said that was sitting there and that was saving his stuff, and just a victim there. We'll go back and see what happened here.
Let's see if I can
He
get...
He has not had a good night. He's down there
Let's see.
minding his own business.
As we see, yep, he just did. I don't think he knew that they were necessarily 3 wide there, and came up just a little bit, and the 7 car came down a little bit. Doesn't look like too much damage though. They hit pretty square on the door, as we see.
Let's see if I get a better shot here.
Yeah, it looks like the car just kind of went up on him there, and
Definitely an issue where they didn't know. He didn't know he was 3 wide because he was following the normal line. You come kind of come through that dog leg and you come off of that bottom a little bit
Yep.
through the center of it, and that looks like what he was trying to do. It's just there was a car on the outside getting pushed down and got pushed down into him, and that's just a case of
That's a,
not knowing what was happening. But look who's out front right now.
yeah, but 34 to go, 32 to go. This is definitely in the fuel window. As I suspect this is going to be the last stops that we see tonight here on pit road.
Yeah, no green flag pit stops, unfortunately.
They had to jinx us.
Yeah.
But no, that was a long, a good green flag run that they had there. I think just about 40-ish laps, maybe high 30s.
Yes.
So, really good job so far cleaning this up from last week. I'm sure everybody in the field's a little happier about that. But it's just gonna get a little more wild. These guys are gonna have grip here. Saunders said about if we run green, about 30 laps is where we will see the tires start to fall off pretty hard and the handling go away, and it's looking like that's just the number we're gonna have to run to the end here.
It's going to be a short track Saturday night. It's all over again, and everybody's going to have pretty much the same equipment too. So this is shaping out to be very interesting, especially if they go green for the next 30 laps.
And I did a quick prediction with the Twitch chat while we were green there. We have 95% of people voting that a Ford will be winning tonight. 5% Chevy, and 0% for Toyota.
Wow.
So, I mean, looking at the leaderboard, not seeing a lot of Toyotas up there. Stoltz, sitting 11th in a Toyota. So,
well, the 26 of Caleb Sheets is supposed to be in a Toyota, but I think he just by habit clicked Chevy loading into the session.
okay.
It's just a guess. So he's supposed to be in a Toyota. But yeah, there's not a lot of Toyotas up there up front. They got taken up pretty early, most of them.
I think we got a couple of guys drinking in our chat room for Twitch.
As we see,
That's
Nathaniel
good. That's
Campbell.
good. Grab your
Nathaniel
favorite drink,
Campbell.
grab your favorite snack, and chill out and watch some racing.
Nathaniel Campbell leading the top. Sylvain Joly, who stayed out, leading that bottom.
And with all the
out.
troubles that number 4 car has had tonight, he's still, I think he's in 15th.
Yeah, let's check in on Keith here. Yeah, he had that front end damage earlier in the race, but not seeing it now. So, for the most part, it looks like that race car is pretty clean.
Yeah. Fighting his way back. He's on the lead lap. So he's in pretty good shape. His car comes off into the pits. Here we go, one last time. And look at the jump that the 08 gets right there. And already we have a little bit of a coordinating effect between Gibbons and Sheets. They managed to straighten that out, and here comes the field, and that 08 car. What a
these are
jump.
duck here as these front three on the top. Front four now are nose to tail. They're going to freight train around this bottom, as this bottom's going to have to check up for this 08 when they get up to them.
And when they have to check up, well, actually, so far they're doing a pretty good job, and Joly able to keep the momentum up on that car, and they're going to catch him, but they're going to be a little bit slower than what they were on the back straight. But because they were disorganized, now you see him starting to fall back a little bit.
As Nathaniel Campbell, pushed by Joe Gibbons, propelled up to the lead there, followed by Saunders and then Lee. Boy, that outside line's looking fast. These guys are looking a lot more aggressive as the lights are on at Daytona.
Whoa!
Oh!
Oh boy, I think somebody got into the back of Joly, and oh boy, what a heartbreak right there.
Yeah, let me see if I get a good view of that.
And I think the 4 car got taken out again.
That's not even near that, but
Yeah.
Oh,
it
no,
just-
no, it happened behind Joe. Oh, okay. It was. Oof. Wow.
He pushed him, and he got pushed, and it just
Yeah.
upset the car a lot, and
Oh.
carnage behind.
Oh.
Not getting taken out there.
Oh.
Nowhere to go.
All right, the 4 car did make it through that without too much there. Wow.
Early caution here again. 27 to go now in the race. As we
Yep.
see the 9-car Jonathan Ledger get his lucky dog. I believe that's going to put him back on the lead lap. 17 guys on the lead lap now.
Now, if you're Joe Gibbons in that 8 car, Campbell goes low. Are you going to go high, or are you going to stay with Campbell?
Well, I think Campbell's his team owner, so he's going to stay with him. I'm pretty sure. Those are teammates, and the team owner's in front of you. He's controlling this field here.
That's why I
I
asked the
think
question.
you're gonna follow your Chevy because the two Fords are gonna follow each other up high.
I don't know if Jolly in that 08 car, if he caught the field snoozing or what, but man, he had like a nitrous button in his car, just like Cletus McFarland with the Crown Vics, because he jumped out to about a 10-car lead there.
Yeah, and that's not necessarily something that you want on these super speedway tracks, because when the pack comes, they come quick, and especially towards the end of the race, they're not gonna check up; they're gonna go around you. So, he got away with it there. He's in third as looks like Nathaniel Campbell and Joe Gibbons are going high here at the choose cone.
Yep.
Jolly low, Saunders low, Sheets low.
Yeah. Surprised to see
You
Saunders
see the
go
two
low.
Majors garage cars go high as the 7 is letting everybody by.
Yep,
So
and you were saying that like getting that jump on the restart is good, but you know if you get too far out there, then especially this late in the
Right.
race, that pack is just gonna come and leave you in the dust. So
Exactly.
Which isn't good here because it's such a narrow track. So that immediately causes serious issues.
Yeah, but about the time they catch you is going to be, I would say, about partway down the back stretch here. So as we see the 7-car choose cone violation, that's why he had to drop to the rear. Going green here with a quarter to go, 25 laps left when we take the green flag. Nathaniel Campbell on the top. Sylvain Joly on the bottom. Their respected manufacturers behind them, and Joe Gibbons on the top, and Zack Saunders on the bottom. Boy, Saunders is putting on his best Austin Hill so far here tonight. Swept both stages. Pace car is off. Your control car is there on the top in that 82 machine. Green flag is out. He's going to get the bump from his teammate. That top lane's going to get a pretty good launch and then break up behind the front two.
Seems as if Campbell and Gibbons got a huge jump on the cars behind him.
Yeah, as we see the front 5, the top 5 break away from the rest of the pack. We'll see how aggressive they get with side drafting here as here comes help.
Gibbons doing everything he can to.
For Joly leading so far down there on the bottom, that purple Ford Mustang, followed by Zack Saunders in another Mustang, Caleb Sheets, and a supposed to be Toyota.
Here comes that outside lane starting to form up a little bit.
As we see the energy back up to the top, as they got more cars than what we've seen all night now. Everyone's going to be deadlocked through single file. You go on board with Caleb Sheets here, leader of the top lane.
Sheets
Moved
just
up in front of
Campbell.
He moved in front of Campbell here. He's running third now, first on the outside. We'll see as we have 23 to go.
Guys,
starting to shake, rattle, and roll up in the front of the pack. Guys trying to make one last maneuver to get that one extra position. We still haven't seen anybody make a move as aggressive as we saw DeCarlo make earlier with that 3 wide maneuver.
Yeah, I think you got to be within 15 to really start to do that kind of stuff. And but at some point, these guys back here in 10th, 9th, 10th, 12-ish, that they're going to start getting aggressive and trying to gain some track position back, as there should be no need for pit stops from beyond this point.
Now, how do you get aggressive at a track where you can't move?
As we see here, this top lane is kind of pinching the bottom in the corner, side drafting. The only move you're going to be able to really do is just keep her up towards the wall there. And there's a car length up there for the most part, if the top runs low enough, where you can kind of form your own line and get around these guys.
Yep, and really just using the guy in front of you, you just have to use that front bumper to push and make your own space as we come to 20 laps to go here.
That outside lane starting to form up a little bit more, coming off of 3 and 4, coming to the dog leg. Huge momentum rush for that outside lane, but that inside lane still holding strong with Joly out front. Joly and Saunders helping each other go down the back straightaway, but here comes Sheets in that outside lane. He's trying to make it happen. Now he's starting to get help from Campbell and Gibbons, getting ready to go off into turn number 3 side by side.
Yeah, keep an eye on these Majors garage cars. They're sitting, I believe that's 4th and 5th. They're on the top. I think those are going to be the first guys that throw it 3 wide, 2 teammates right together, as we see. Oh, no, they're going to tuck back in line. I think the 8 car got a little loose, got into the wall. We'll see how long they want to stay behind him.
Right now, Gibbons trying to get to his teammate and car owner. He holds back just a little bit so he doesn't smash him. It seems as if Gibbons maybe holding back, maybe get a little bit of air in his car. But now he's starting to close right back up again. These guys that outside lane. Now they're rolling 6 by 6. Excuse me, 2 by 2 by 2 to the top. 6 rows anyways. And it's starting to look like a restart.
Yeah, that's what comes with these super speed races. You're deadlocked here, and you really got to push very hard for about a lap straight. These cars don't really allow that, so I think we're going to see a double wide finish here, maybe even a 3 wide finish.
You think these cars are harder to bump draft with than the trucks are?
Yes, these cars are a lot harder to bump draft with than the trucks.
Yeah, definitely the hardest of our 3 top series.
That's the next gen, I would say, is the easiest, and then as we see Sheets get a little loose, trying to side draft, and Joe Gibbons goes around into the wall. He's going to take, looks like John Terrell, the 15, who was the lap car, into the wall hard. And then we see him hit this car sitting in.
Ooh, I think there's a little beef.
Caution is out with the 16 to go. That's going to leave Colby DeCarlo by himself without a teammate now.
Oh, man.
But looks like the 4th car, Keith Hugh, got away clean. He's sitting 8th here now as we take a look to see what happened. It's like, yeah, they get Squirrely as leader, and it was a checkup, and they just sent him around. And yeah, that was just kind of a racing thing. They're running so close, and because of how squirrely Sheets got, it checked up that entire outside lane, and not enough space to react.
A finish for Joe Gibbons, who was running so strong.
Right on board here with Keith Hume. They're on the bottom. Gets to the apron, just avoids everybody, and he's out.
Wow.
So now, luck is on his side now. So we saw just a pretty similar incident where he had nowhere to go there on the bottom, and he got out of there just okay.
Look, I don't care how much luck you have. You're not going to turn your car down low like that. Not spin out just from pure luck. That boy's got some talent.
Big hit to the 15 as the motor.
That little extra hit there. What was I don't know who that was. Somebody gave him a little parting
I
shot
think
there.
that might have been John Terrell that did that, but more or less I think both of their engines blew in that wreck, so I could be wrong. Oh, looks like Terrell's still running. A gray car, it looked like, but 15 to go now, coming to 14 here at the end of this lap. This is where we're going to start seeing even more aggression. I think 3 wide's going to start happening here, and we'll see how that works out, but...
Yeah, it's actually, we're up to our 9th caution. Well, we'll call it 7 because of the 2 stages, but...
Yeah.
Actually, no, we'll call it 8 because one of those stages was a caution. So 8 cautions is real right now.
That's not bad compared to last week.
No.
As we juice cone here, we're going to see the 2 Mustangs split apart from each other. Caleb Sheets will go high behind that 60 Zack Saunders. Nathaniel Campbell behind the 08 of Joly there. Somebody who's recovered nice from an earlier wreck, Nikhil Condor there in that Ford Mustang.
Yeah.
That blue, white, and red. He's back up there and in the mix.
And you know what? We should be talking about him more.
Richard Myers has been real quiet tonight, and he's slotted there in that 3rd row there on the bottom. Look for him to be a factor here tonight. As we see it, the majority of guys pick the bottom. As we got 13 left on the lead lap here. Jonathan Ledger scored as the last car in the lead lap.
Up here in the Northeast, where we run modified, which are the prettiest race cars in the world. Down south, they also have a modified division, and if your name is Myers, then it's mandatory that you race modifieds down to that South Carolina, North Carolina area, especially Bowman Gray Arena, the Madhouse as they call it.
Pace car takes the dive down pit road. Joly on the bottom of that purple car. Saunders on the top in that orange car. Both Ford Mustangs in the restart zone. Green flag. 13 laps to go here at Atlanta. As a big check up there on the bottom. Everybody gets pumped. Everybody keeps it straight. That's going to really break up this top lane, as well as we see 3 wide already into turn 1 and 2. But Jonathan, Nikhil in the middle. Probably their Carlo will tuck in behind him as we get kind of single filed out here. You're out the pack.
Yep, that top 4 looked like they were trying to get away, but here comes the rest of the pack on that bottom line. Joly's still up front, holding his own, followed by Saunders and Campbell. Sheets and Myers, their top 5. See that 60 car. Don't know if it's starting to see a little bit of tire factor or what, but at this point they shouldn't be. They're going flat out with 12 laps to go. This has turned out to be a good one.
Yeah, this is a good finish. I think everybody's single file here, trying to make it to the end, minimize the wrecks. As we go on board here with Keith Hume in that 4 car. Nikhil Condor behind him. We saw him 3 wide just a little while ago. So when are we going to make a move? 11 to go right now. When we cross the line, it will be 10 to go here. As we see Caleb Sheets get turned around, and they're wrecking again. Keith Hume to the outside wall. Nikhil Condor down there on the bottom. Caution is out with 10 to go.
Oh. What happened there? I don't know if Condor got loose and Hume got into him, or if Hume got into him and got him loose.
That looks like a big net code there for that 4 car, getting him up into the wall. But we'll see here. Looks like a late block by the 26s. That was really bad net coded for that 4 car up there. But yeah, it looked like just stemmed off of a late blogger. The 26 thought he was clear, tried to come back down low. 4 car wasn't planning on lifting with 10 to go, and
He
to see
tried to
making
save
the
it.
wheel
Oh,
and
man.
as
Talk
you
about a
see-
bad night.
Yeah, as you see these guys coming down pit road to get damage served. 9 to go here. I think we're gonna restart with about 7 or 6 to go. Gonna have a nice little dash for the finishes. Like Robot getting the lucky dog.
Now, Hume still has a chance to get a good finish here.
Now the question is, right? This 08 car, as he's currently leading the pack, Sylvain Joly, he didn't pit under that caution where everyone else came down. Is he good on fuel?
We've had 3 cautions since then.
Yeah, but these cautions aren't very long either. So,
Oh man, yeah, he's on 61 laps now without pit.
well, we're gonna have to see if he's gonna have enough to make it to the end. Saunders, who's in second place after we pulled him in for winning stage 1, he said it's about 60 laps.
Yep,
for
and
the
Myers
fuel window.
Myers sitting P5 also on 61 lap old tires and probably gonna be stretching fuel here too.
So tires and fuel gonna be a factor here in the shootout.
Yeah.
At the end of the race, we'll see. I think they might have enough on fuel, or it might be really close, especially if we go green to the end. I don't know.
Ooh.
I don't know what their fuel situation is looking like.
Here, let's go inside and see if he's saving.
Oh yeah, he's hardcore saving. He's in 4th gear, hitting the clutch.
Yeah, he just shut the car off. He just shut it off.
Yeah, he's clutching and coasting there, so he's hardcore saving.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it's one thing to have enough fuel to make it to the end. It's another thing to have enough fuel for green-white checkers.
Yeah, I think that
And
happened for him.
in the Team Conti Sim Performance Dash Series, there is unlimited green-white checkers.
Yes.
So, gotta
Yeah.
keep an eye on that as well. If we get a late caution, we might see those 2 cars come down pit road to top off.
Yeah.
the field.
I want to see him go for it. I hope we go green. I want to know if he can do it.
Yep,
Yes, we're
8
gonna go
laps
green.
here to go. Also, just want to give the Twitch chat a shout out. Thank you guys for joining the stream tonight. I think we got up to around 40 viewers, so that's a great job from Daytona to now. Atlanta is not as sexy as Daytona, but I think it's still a lot of fun. So thank you guys for coming out and participating in the predictions and everything like that. Be sure to hit the follow button. We'll be here all season long with some racing action. So thank you guys again for coming out tonight.
As we see the pace car getting ready to take this dive down pit road. The A car still saving fuel here. Pace car is off. Oh wait, the leader, Joly on the bottom, Saunders on the top. Green flag is out. 7 to go here at Atlanta.
Golly, not as big of a jump as he got last time, but this time he has help with that car behind him.
Yeah, we'll see the 06 and the 80 or the 60 and the 82 slot down to the bottom. They're going to fall in line so they don't go backwards. We'll see if they pull out here with a run on the back stretch. They're going to stay in line. Here goes the 82 looking high.
Just no help yet.
Campbell by himself, no help. He's going to slot back in, not lose any spots. As we see Saunders peeking his nose out there as well. There we go. Saunders is going to pull alongside of this 26 car. Nathaniel Campbell, one of those underrated pushers here in the Crown Jewel Racing League. He's a big help on the broadcast team for the Cup Series side. Moved down to Xfinity last second. He's in position here to get a great finish at Atlanta.
We are 2 wide with 5 to go.
Oh, there it is again. That
3
same
wide.
maneuver.
Colby Darcolo.
Oh, there it
comes
is.
down a little late. Reckon the big one of what was left of the lead lap.
That was ugly. That was I hate to see that for a lot of those guys.
You're in that black and gray car. Yeah, the Campbell just wasn't clear. Came down too late to clear him, and as we see some engines blowing, hear some engines blowing, I should say. Boy, that took out a lot of guys.
Yeah, it did.
Nathaniel Campbell with the meatball flag, Myers with one, Leroy Sellers with one as well.
Couple of huge hits. Oh, Corey Mutt's gonna have a great night tonight, handing out penalties.
Well, I'm the one that has to put him in and
Oh, it's not
do all that, so I'm gonna have a nice long night getting these RC points put in. But nah, you see, I don't mind that. I don't mind doing that kind of stuff for the league. I was elected to do it, however, but you know, I mean, it comes with racing, and we give these guys. We've gone away this last year. We've gone away with handing out in-race penalties, unless of course if it's an intentional wreck, then it's handled differently. But you know, these drivers don't get penalized in race anymore like we used to. We let them race. It's nature racing. As we go on board here with our Carlo, pretty wide here through the middle. Squeeze, that was good, and then Campbell just tried to come down and just a split second too late with that. Maybe a little bit of hesitation in there, but that's a tough break for that 82 machine, and for Hollywood Motorsports. These last two wrecks, two of their drivers taken out of contention here. They're running a really good race, and
yep. And you just gotta think the 24 there was coming to the end of the race. We mentioned earlier you can get stuck, so you just was all systems go and put a move in there, and looked like he came through pretty clean. It's just Campbell just came down on him there.
It's just one of those racing things, I don't think Campbell expected him to be there, and that was such a crazy. What a great move! I'm sorry, but that's pretty neat. And did we lose the lights in Atlanta?
I just think the blimp is too far out. There is we see the juice going here. The two Ford Mustangs for this green white checkered finish. Like I mentioned earlier, 2-lap shootouts. If we get a caution before one to go, we will re-rack them and do it again. But if we take the white flag, we race back to the line. Caleb Sheets there in that 26 machine on the top. The 08 of Joly, who we talked about earlier with fuel, that was in question here. We'll see if he has enough for this green-white checkered finish, as we are, I think we're going to be past the extent or the scheduled amount of laps here.
Yeah, I think we got some free racing.
Yeah, some extra laps, more than what we paid for, so that's always a good thing. But I have a feeling that it might not be the last green white checker.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing unless your name is Jolly.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that there are some Hail Marys going on inside that number 8 car that this goes green to the end, because he has got to be sipping fuel at this point.
See the pace car dive down pit road. Oh wait, your control car on the bottom. Green flag is out. Him and Zack Saunders in that 60 car is going to get a good launch. Caleb Sheets kind of out in front of his line. 2 laps to go here at Atlanta.
Is this going to be the last restart of the night? Who knows? But as you see, cars are really starting to move around towards the middle and center, middle and the end of the pack. Everybody just trying to get position.
Sheets and Saunders are going to go high here in the turn 3. They're going to go around this 08 car. Looks like the 39 isn't too close to the bumper, as we see Saunders going to take the lead here at Atlanta, coming to the white flag. 1 to go.
Here we go now. Saunders trying to get down low, but there he
Saunders
is.
get
There's
clear.
the move
He's
right
gonna move
there.
low. That leaves Sheets by himself up front. We'll see. It's one to go. We'll see how many guys go high here on the backstretch to help him.
Now
As
it's
we
just
see
a drag
Colby
race.
DeCarlo making his way back up there. Sheets is going to be really aggressive here side drafting this 8 car.
Coming out
Not
of
going
turn.
anywhere. The 8 car's looking to move up.
Here we go.
Not
Bring
gonna
it
do
to the
so.
line.
Zack Saunders will win here
Saunders!
at Atlanta.
What
Yeah, I mean,
a great
he had
ending.
a great race all night. He
I
won the
know.
first stage, he won the second stage. Just had a great race car.
He Austin Hilled this race, I would say. As you see
Wow.
Joly there, finishing 8th, did end up having enough fuel. What a good run by him, and Palmetto finally getting a good result here with Caleb Sheets finishing 3rd.
What an amazing race.
Heartbreak for that 08 car. What a great run he gave it, and he almost won this thing.
But Saunders is going to lock himself in the playoffs, plus 2 more playoff points, so he's going to be at a total of 7 playoff points through the second race of the season. That's a good start to the season, I would say.
He's going to be a happy young man. I had to go to my backup phone because I got yelled at down in the computer room because apparently I yelled too loud at the ending of that race and woke up everybody in the house.
As we see the results on your screen, Zack Saunders, your winner. Sylvain Joly comes home P2. Caleb Sheets P3. Cameron Albertson P4. Ted Lisby P5. John Terrell in position number 6. Colby DeCarlo, as we saw him involved in a couple of wrecks tonight. Rebounds for P7. Jonathan Ledger with a quiet P8. Michelle Condor with a
Good for
P9.
him.
Yep, Blake Roebuck was involved in the big one early, finishes P10. Nathaniel Campbell 11th. Richard Myers 12th. Leroy Sellers Jr. will come home 13th. Keith Hume 14th. Sam Bennett with a good finish for 15th there. He was involved in one, I think, on lap 2.
Yep.
So, way to rebound there and that crew. Ryan Persinger will be 16th. Justin Bell 17th. And Joe Gibbons comes home in 18th.
Not Joe Gibbons in that 18th spot. That is not indicative of the race he had. He had a great race, was in second, third spot, and got caught up in a big one. Tough break for him.
And I'm just going to quickly go through here and finish the running order. 19th, Noah Hamilton. 20th, Barry Kramer. 21st, Josh Schultz. 22nd will be Gregory Valdi. 23rd, Dominic Lee. 24th, Tyler Krashek. 25th, Jim Mott. 26th, Michael Deitch. 27th, Noah Spaulding. 28th, Keenan Kimber. 29th, Nick Baston. 30th, Nathan Fuller. And 31st, Rodney Roberts. 32nd, Bob Baker. 33rd, Cameron Romano. He was taken out very early in the race. Jake Euler comes home 34th. Jay Salmon. 35th, Travis, and then Travis Dickinson in 36th.
Yep, and
Well,
that was just a dominant race by Zach. But yeah, that late move that he was able to get worked out with Sheets there, that definitely secured him the win there.
Yeah, definitely. And I believe our 3rd place finisher is ready. So let's pull him up and let's have a talk with him. Hey, Caleb Sheets, it's the boys up in the booth. You got us?
Can you hear me?
Yep,
we
there
got
we
you.
go. We got you. Well, 3rd place. Great run for you today at Atlanta. good rebound. Just talk us through those last couple restarts and how you were able to get up to third.
Yeah. Had ran up there pretty much the whole race after stage one. Kind of took it easy on purpose in stage one to try to miss some of the wrecks. But yeah, once I got up there, kind of controlled the race. And on that last restart, I've raced a lot with Zack, so I was kind of gonna follow whatever move he made. I knew that would keep me up front if I did that. Then I ended up with no help on the outside in the last lap, but was able to hang on there, thankfully. Had a terrible race at Daytona, thanks to getting in an early wreck, so it was a good rebound tonight to get stage points and also finish third, so that should lessen the impact of that bad race last week.
Yeah, definitely. As we look towards COTA next week, I'm not too familiar with you on road courses. How are you feeling about next week at COTA?
I'm decent on road courses that I've raced at. I don't even own COTA yet, so I'll have to learn the track first of all. So that'll be interesting. I'll just try to keep it on the track and that see what happens.
Well, is there anybody you want to thank out there tonight?
Oh yeah, I appreciate the guys keeping it pretty clean. Up in the top 5. It's always fun racing with Zack. Nathaniel Campbell as well was up there racing. That was fun battling side by side for the lead for like 50 laps there. It seemed like so. I appreciate the clean racing there, and look forward to next week.
Nice job tonight. I have one question for you. What kind of wheel system do you have?
I have
steering wheel.
it's a Logitech Driving Force.
Direct drive?
I have no idea what that means.
No. Well, how sore are your forearms from running this race tonight?
Oh, no, I'm pretty good. Yeah, I run a pretty low. I do a 10-to-1 ratio as well, so I try to not do too much wheel movement. I also try to make my car kind of on the looser side, so not too bad. I had a pretty good handling car.
Nice. Great run tonight. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That was our third place finisher, Caleb Sheets, in that 26 machine. Now let's get up our second place finisher here. Sylvain, you got us?
Yes, I'm there.
Okay, congratulations on the second place finish tonight. We were kind of questioning if you had enough fuel. I want to start off by asking how much you had left there at the end of the race.
Thank you for so much. Man, I have a 2.5 gallon over for the at finish. I have a gas over the gas is okay. And save on the race.
That was an impressive run to save fuel. You had to save about 10 laps.
More than 10 laps.
Yeah. Now that's not a Boston accent that you have. Where are you from?
I'm from Montreal, Canada, Quebec. I speak French.
Nice.
Sorry, for my English.
Wait a minute. You're from Montreal. I'm from Boston. Hey, buddy. Listen. Don't even, our hockey team is better than yours. It's all I'm gonna say.
My favorite for my team de hockey is the Browns. For the Raymond Bourque.
Yeah, Ray Bourque, a classic. It's good to see we converted you to the good side.
Oh, I don't sure if we understand. Take the low gear.
Well, impressive run tonight. Congratulations. We were rooting for you. I wanted to see you do it on that fuel run, so congratulations.
Yeah, I mean, a very bold strategy there that paid out, got you the track position, and allowed you to stay up front there. And just what more did you need on that restart to finish one spot better?
Is my error for the start. Is a start not slowly. I want to slow and be sure for the back with me, and start too fast. Is my big error. Man, it's a good relation for Zack. Zack is good. He's win.
Well,
next time.
Yeah. Is there anybody out there that you want to thank?
For the shout out, my team, John Connor Racing and Accent LED. And see you for the boots and see you tomorrow for the race and my father and see for the race. Thank you guys for the show.
Of course. Well, congratulations on the second place finish. Well,
Excellent run.
have a fun night celebrating with your guys over there at John Connor Motorsports.
Thank you so much. Me, I go to the beer now. Go for the trailer.
Good luck. Oh,
Well, that was
I-
our second place finisher, Sylvain Joly.
you know what? I think I have a new favorite driver. He has obviously, he has that French accent from Montreal. He reminds me of Jacques Cousteau from growing up. He has that accent. So I think I got a new favorite driver.
Well, the only one left to interview is our race winner, Zack Saunders. Hey, Austin Hill. I mean, Zack Saunders, you got us?
Don't associate me with that guy.
Well, you pulled your best Austin Hill impression tonight, swept both stages, and won the race. Take us through those last couple of restarts, and especially that last one, and walk us through how you got it done.
Yeah, took tires on that or lap 130-ish caution there with Noah and Josh. So had fresh rubber for the end of that, which was what I wanted. I knew some people up front didn't take any, so if I needed to make the move, I knew I could with it not being being loose or anything like that like the other guys. But yeah, just stayed up, just tried to make smart moves and have good pushes there towards the end. That was huge. These things hate getting pushed. Just
Yeah, we could see
I
that.
mean, you hit the dude, 2 or 3 mile an hour difference, and it just sticks the whole rear end of the car. Some cars handled it better than others, but yeah, me and Nathaniel had it going pretty good, and then I lost that. I lost him, and was just go with the Ford. They get the good jump on the last restart, and uh, made sure Sheets was close enough to the bumper. That way I could clear the '08 when I needed to, and just did a little bit of blocking, I guess, there at the end to hold off.
Yeah, well, yeah, you got 7 playoff points tonight.
Huge,
I know that's big.
huge.
You also locked yourself in as the first
Repeat winner.
chartered car to
Yeah.
win, as we had an open car win last
Oh,
week.
that's right. Yeah.
How does that make you feel that you're locked in this early?
So makes it so much easier because I know there's fast guys in here. It's the off season brought in a lot of fast people, and I knew it was gonna be tough. I figure I'd have to really either get a win at a super speedway or uh hopefully get a win at a road course. I know there's some pretty good road course ringers in here, so and just stay up front. Just look for the top 10 finishes week in, week out, to really stay in the fight for everything and hopefully be there in the end.
Yeah, that you mentioned the road courses, and next week we go to the Circuit of Americas, which is a road course, and you have proven time and time again that you are very strong at that. How confident are you for next week as well?
Uh, well, when I get a little bit more practice in, it's been quite some time since I drove Xfinity car at a road course. Um, I'm feeling good. I always do on road courses. Just knowing how to navigate and get the car to do what I want it to do through the corners and stuff is always nice. So we've got a pretty decent setup for that weekend or for that week. So we'll get some more laps in, some more testing, and we'll go from there.
Hey, buddy, it's Billy up in the booth. I have a question for you. Now that you're locked in, now that you haven't driven one of these cars on a road course in a while, how aggressive are you going to go into next week's race? Or are you going to try to just kind of settle back a little bit because you're already locked in?
I mean, if I've got a fighting chance, I'll go for it. It's if I don't, then I don't. It's just just take what you can get and don't go over the limit with what you're given. So if I know I can hang with the whoever that's leading or whatever, or the top 5 or whatever, then if we get a late caution, if we ever get a caution, um, yeah, I'll be there at the end of it, and if not, then we'll just salvage the points, and hopefully that those are top 10 points, like I said. So just go in with a smart game plan. Don't do anything rash. Don't do anything stupid, and just stay out of the trouble.
Well, very impressive run again tonight. I don't know what to say, buddy. Congratulations, and
Yeah.
it just you just keep proving it, man. You're a killer.
Thank you.
Good job,
Oh,
Zach.
wow.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I remember I was telling these guys like I think the last time I ran here, you pushed me to a win, so I knew
Yeah, yeah.
you'd be up front.
I was the one that got pushed past. I remember that pretty well.
Yeah, that was in the next gens there at the end of the season. So yeah, for whatever reason, I mean, as well as you guys know as well as I do, I cannot qualify to save my life at Daytona or Talladega, but
Yeah.
when it comes to Atlanta, I've got something figured out where I qualify up front, and that really helps throughout the whole race, as it was proven last week at Daytona. I got taken out early, so
What do you think? What do you think of Jolly's gas saving techniques?
we wasn't really that short. I think we only needed like a gallon and a half, maybe 2 gallons to make it if he was wide open. But
You told us 60 laps.
it's 60 to 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wide
all
open.
right,
That was wide open.
All right.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really do much saving in the first 2 stages.
Yeah,
I
because
was
you're in
either
front.
pushing or I was either pushing or getting shoved, so couldn't really save any fuel. But I mean, I think he started. He was towards like around 10th area when we had that in the stage 3 to lap 130 caution. So
Yep.
I'm sure he was able to save quite a bit of fuel and was able to make it.
Yep.
And then we had those cautions right there at the end, so he was saving a bunch
Yep.
even
I,
then.
th-
But
I think he was plus 26 or 29 positions tonight.
that's you stay out of the trash
Yeah.
and you make smart moves. You're there at the end, but it's like a place like here, something happens up front. I mean, if you're 5 cars behind the incident happening, you're most likely going to get in it because it just
Yep.
covers the whole track. And if you're 15, 20 back, you got to make sure the guys behind you ain't going to run you over. So,
Yeah.
it, you got to do a lot of looking out for yourself when you kind of start anywhere from 10th to 20th. It's just you just don't know what's going to happen, especially with how bad these things take pushes. I mean, there was a couple times going to the corner, I got to lay off because if I hit him, it's going to dump him, and then you got to make sure you don't get hit. So
Yep.
you're watching what's in front of you and watching your mirror. So it was really really tough tonight with how bad these things took a hit. So
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
congratulations on the win and locking yourself in the playoffs, being the first driver to do that for the Xfinity Series or the Team Conti Sim Performance Dash Series. So congratulations on that, and go have fun with your boys over at Tipton Hardin Motorsports.
thank you.
That was your race winner, Zack Saunders. It was a dominant performance, but it was a quiet dominant performance.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
him getting out front early and just keeping the car clean, staying out all those early cautions, and then we had some pretty big ones there in stage 3. Just did a huge amount of was hugely beneficial to him and his performance tonight. So, but great drive from Zach there.
He got lucky a few times and did get caught up in a couple of little things and was able to come back and bounce back. And I'll be honest with you, the way he's been driving lately, I mean, he's definitely one of the contenders at the end of the year. And when you're coming in with as much momentum as he has, going into a racetrack where you're good at, Yeah, it's kind of scary for the other people. So we're probably going to be talking to that 60 car again next week.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he's a great road driver too. So I'm sure he'll put the practice in and
you and
show out.
Thomas and Zach pretty much dominated the road courses last year in the Cup
Yeah.
Series. So now that Saunders is gone, hopefully there's some, and at least in the Cup Series side, there's some room for some others to catch up. But I doubt that. But yeah, as we look to tomorrow, pretty much the same time, same place. The Majors Garage Cup Series will be here at Atlanta for, I believe it's 260 laps.
Let me ask you guys, how many cautions we have tonight?
I think
I
we had
think
11.
Yep, it was 11.
11 or 12.
You think there's going to be more or less tomorrow night?
I think there's going to be less.
Well,
The
we
Cup
went.
cars handle the best. I think we're going to not see these squirrely wrecks of pushing in the corner.
Yep.
Because I remember last year in both races, I was able to absolutely shove the car in front of me in the corner and
Yep.
not even get them squirrely. So,
And you got to think some of the cautions tonight that we saw were lap cars not getting out of the way. So surely by tomorrow evening, we'll all be highly aware of lap cars and nothing like that could happen again, right?
yeah, I mean, we saw it with the Truck Series and Xfinity to now, so, or with the Dash Series. So, yeah, it should be a really fun one. Hopefully, I can repeat my result from last year for the first Atlanta race.
That was the win, right? You
Yeah,
won.
yep,
Won
I
the
won
first one, and the
I won the
second
first.
one.
I finished. I was, I think, with one to go or two to go, I was fourth. It was me and Nick on the bottom, and it was Thomas and Zach on the top, and everybody else was on the top, and it was just kind of like me and Nick on the bottom trying to push.
Yeah.
I was trying to push him up there to clear and then make a move, but it just never came. I think I got involved in something then on the last lap. So
Yeah, and the 37 car, the Krispy Kreme car of Joe.
He
came across
for him for some revenge.
sideways, and almost won the race. I remember that from last year.
Yeah, look for some revenge out of that 37 car. That's twice on super speedways now. The last two super speedway races we had at Atlanta and Talladega, he has finished second and come very close to winning. So
Yep, sideways. Yep.
it should be a very exciting race tomorrow. Make sure you guys tune in. I believe qualifying or green flag will be 8:15 Eastern. Same channel, same track, just some different drivers.
Sounds good to me. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Yep. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Tomorrow night should be a great race. And thanks again for everyone in the Twitch channel. Had a great turnout tonight. We had way more viewers than I thought we would coming off Daytona. So that was super exciting to see. Probably had like, looks like 3 or 4 new followers too. So just keep growing this thing and keep showing up, and we'll keep putting racing on for you guys.
Sounds good. See you next week.